Hey, folks, just a friendly reminder that all shows on the Madness Comic Network are produced by their individual hosts and in no way reflect the opinions of the network as a whole. The statements in the following broadcast are not necessarily the opinions of the Madness Comic Network, its staff, sponsors, or contributors. This show is rated TVMA, as are all of them and all those other letters. Viewer discretion is highly advised, and, just do what Doc says. Read that again. Peace, everybody.
Flip City Magazine is just really pulling out all the stops, man. Your guys' production value of this magazine has gone insane. I mean, look at that. I mean, I remember when you guys, it was black and white. Even when it was black and white, I thought your quality was great. But damn, they just really stepping it up a notch. Look at this. James Corbett, boys. James Corbett.
Genuinely cutting. But also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
Glamorized and embraced by Hollywood, feared in the underworld, Benjamin Bugsy Siegel was one of the most powerful men in America. He was also one of the most hated. The man who gave birth to Las Vegas was gunned down in the luxurious home of his glamorous lover. Almost 80 years later, his murder remains unsolved. Who killed Bugsy?
The Madness Comic Network and comic-related madness proudly presents Madness Tuesday Morning Brew. Tune in to our content on Comic Talk with Pops Van Zandt on YouTube.
Ooh, everybody, happy Tuesday. This is Southern coming out of me. I don't know. I didn't actually know what day it was. And then I was like, oh yeah, Tuesday Brew. It's Tuesday. Yeah. Needless to say, it's been crazy and it still hasn't calmed down yet since the Kickstarter ended. But I just wanted to say, just for a second, thank you to everybody who backed and shared and recommended and supported in any way, shape, or form from our last campaign, which was, of course, the trade paperback for issues 1 through 4 and bonus material. Holy moly, this by far exceeded my expectations. My goal for this was only $2,000 and we ended up with $6,000. So thank you, everybody. I am humbled by your support. And this week I've been ordering things to try and get them here ASAP, because those books are going to be ordered as soon as the money comes in, and then they should be to me by the end of April. Got to start fulfilling stuff. So the merch is actually where I'm concerned about it slowing down this time, but the art is already done, which is great. So I just wanted to remind people that that one is done. This one is up, so you guys can sign up for notification for launch. I haven't hooked up the short link yet, so here's the long link, which is super annoying. Projects, Path of the Pale Right, issue 5. But I don't have a date for this yet, but it's probably sometime in May is what I'm guessing. So we're going to make sure everything is freaking fulfilled. We had a few issues with issue 4, like the metal covers and the Choose Your Own Adventures, the books, because we switched printers. And yeah, it's a mess. But we're going to fix everything, and I want everything caught up before we launch this next one. So we're going there. And and I always talk about how crazy this story is. And 1 through 4, it's like that's the intro into the story, right? That's the first act of the movie, getting to know the characters, getting to know the world and the rules and how it works. And then in the middle part of a movie is when like things start to go wrong and your protagonist has to fix them, right? And that's what happens in the third act is they figure things out and they, either wrap up the movie or launch you into the next one. So we're about to embark into the part of the first arc where everything goes wrong. And if you think it has been going wrong already, you ain't seen nothing yet. So issue number 5 is a beast. And I'm so excited to pick up the story again, because you're going to find out a whole lot of stuff about what is coming next. And then, of course, my favorite issue is in this next part, which is issue number 7. If you read issue number 7 and you're not sucked into this thing, you're dead. That's all I got to say. But anyways, enough about me. I want to bring in my guest. Good friend of mine, very talented. Not only does he write comics, produce comics, he also is a musician. Like, we've had long conversations about music, and he's been on other shows talking like with Tim Fling about I wanted to see that show. I need to catch the replay about like the greatest bassists of all time, or top 20. I forget how many you guys chose. But without further ado, let me bring in Jon Westhoff. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for having me on the Chicken Nugget Power Hour. I'm your co-host, McNugget Man.
It is. Oh, now I have to play it because you said it. So let me find it. What the heck? Chicken nuggets. Thank you, Pops. He's back there pushing buttons for me. I was like, I have to scroll, and it's somewhere in the middle, and I scroll right past it. So chicken nuggets to you, sir.
Chicken nuggets to all. And to all a good night.
What's that?
Chicken nuggets to all, and to all a good night.
There you go. So what's popping? What's going on? You're always moving and shaking. Just like
Yeah,
the
no,
rest
I
of us?
appreciate you having me on. We have our second of 5 planned crowdfunding extravaganzas this year, and that's Child Possession Services. This is actually the 3rd issue
Bring it right
of
up.
the series, so that's the most current, but hopefully, we'll talk about at least some of the other projects. But yeah, that one's live right now. We have 86 amazing backers, and actually just a few hours ago passed the first week, so we have about a little over 2 weeks left to go.
All right.
We're trying to control the day count these days because we have so many. I just don't want to feel like I'm eternally in Kickstarter mode. But so this one, if people didn't notice, is a little bit shorter, about 24 days. So
Yeah. I've been trying to reel mine in too. It's like, I feel like, whatchamacallit, when you have 30 days, it's like, and then you add on the 2 weeks for the funds. And then it's like, if you're out of funds and you need to keep going, then you have to wait for all of that time to go by.
And Lord knows we're always out of funds. So
yeah, and that's where I usually am too, where it's like, by the time we're kickstarting, we're pretty much out of funds and we have to Kickstarter again in order to keep going. So it just elongates that time. So if you can get rid of 6 days, 5 days, it just speeds you up that much more,
And it's always a tough choice because we actually the notorious dead zone in the middle of a campaign. But we rarely have a no backer day. We usually are pretty incessant about getting the word out there. So we usually have a couple. Once in a while we'll have a no backer day, but still the days are slower. They're much slower. So why not cut out a little bit of the fat there, and then you can get back to focusing on creation and fulfillment and all that. So we're trying to keep them, and then we're not badgering everyone constantly, although we kind of are because we're running 5 this year. So
oh my gosh, you're gonna be up there with Corissa. I don't know, she runs 6, right? She's every other month, so you're close.
Month.
What
I can't keep pace with her. I'm trying, and one was a collected edition, so it didn't require new material.
Call me Corissa. We're all in that boat. We're all trying to catch up to her. So
I do wish I had like Corissa or Brett, who's on the Madness Network. I wish I had maybe focused on one series for a year or so, but that's just not how my brain works. So I like to have the different ones. And this one, for those who haven't heard, the short pitch is, what if demonic possession was common around the world? Of course, the U.S. government would make a poorly run and underfunded agency to work with kids who are possessed. Enter social worker Connie Dar, who works with such children, and her work and outside of work life are going to hell. So it's more of a The Office meets heavy metal type of a story. It's a lot more grounded. We don't necessarily have a big arc of her fighting the devil or anything in mind, but it's more about workplace drama. It's about if you've ever worked for human services and government agencies, how frustrating it is when you initially go into the profession and want to help people, and it kind of just sucks the soul out of your asshole. And that's what I wanted to put in a book. And then I was like, well, no one's going to read about me whining about, being a sad social worker. So what if we added demonic possession? So we kind of came backwards to the to the premise.
That's hilarious. I mean,
Yeah.
and you can already imagine like how terrible that would be. It's like already government agency, anything, and then with kids involved. Hey, Lou, good morning. Thanks for, hey, Tanner. Nice to
Yeah,
see
and
you.
I get a lot of people once I
Hi.
say that it's a social worker for possessed or recently possessed children, they're like, "Oh, I'm a social worker, or my cousin's a social worker, or
So they already
that's kind of the
understand it.
angle I wanted to go to because a lot of
Yeah.
people, a couple people have approached me, including I had kind of a confrontation online with somebody who was like, this is a very serious topic and you're not taking it seriously, and this should be more like NCIS where you go into like the procedural part of them, helping these kids. And I said, again, I appreciate the feedback, but that's not really what this book is. It's a little bit more of a, it's trying to put some of my personal experience onto the page, but again, make it a little bit more dramatic and interesting of a story. So it's not, if you're looking for, again,
Something serious. This is not it.
something with an epic, hero's tale or something like that, not every story has to be that, right?
I'm with you where it's like, and
situational.
I think we can take things that are really serious and poke fun at them. And that's kind of like humor getting you through the hard times. I really don't think we need a serious comic about child services. I really don't. It's already sucky enough to live that. You
Right.
need a comic book to relive it.
And
Hey,
if
Hugo, good morning.
if you're in the field, my peers, we have some of the darkest sense of humor, and again, we kind of have to because we deal with very, very difficult things. So in no way does it reflect that we would make light of any real world situation where someone was being harmed or anything like that. Just like my example was like, he was like, well, the title is misleading, and I was like, well, that's like going into the book Preacher and expecting it to be about a preacher who does good by others. I mean, entertainment doesn't.
I mean, what
always
did they
go
think
down
The
the
Boys
route.
was about? I'm
Exactly.
curious.
They thought they were back in town.
Yeah.
The boys were not back.
It was like Boy Scouts. You thought it was like kids. I was like, it's
But
not a,
I've been doing this for about 15 years now.
That's amazing.
Get me a cake with a lot of candles on it. But so I've been around for a while. I think at this point, again, that's just how my storytelling is. I have some, epic, 3-act stories in mind, but a lot of my stories are a lot more grounded, a lot more slice of life. That's just kind of what I enjoy. Again, this is more like a sitcom in the situation than an epic tale. We try to take every issue as a one shot, knowing that in indie comics, you don't know how long you're going to get.
Right.
So we're grateful that we've gotten to 3 issues. There's been some flashbacks and there's definitely, I also understand that for most of us, of course, we love Lord of the Rings. We love that, it starts with him, spoiler, getting the ring and then destroying it and that whole story. But when you really break it down, it's
like that movie's been out and that book has been out forever. People,
only 60, 70 years. It's more about how the characters interact, right? You want to know about Samwise and Frodo's relationship. And that's kind of where I'm at as a storyteller. I like to see, like, even some of the characters maybe didn't have as big of a story, but after the first issue, I'm like, ooh, I really like how that character came out. Let's have them be a bigger part of the story. And I just enjoy that part of comics. So each issue you should walk away satisfied, but there's definitely bigger threads in there that if you read all the issues, you'd be like, oh, I like how, that scene paid off or that character interacted with this one. So
make it bigger.
This particular issue is about Connie is at court for one of her clients, and she walks right out into the middle of a protest for legalize it. People are trying to legalize demonic possession across all people. And of course, she has her own feelings about whether or not it should be legal, being someone who works with people who've been affected by it. And that's kind of the backdrop of our story and how it starts.
They want to legalize demonic possession.
Currently, it is legal in some states, but people treat it as in different ways, much like medical marijuana or things like that. Some people have feelings that it's inherently evil, but others understand that there's healing properties, or it's just people trying to enjoy their life and they enjoy being the feeling of being possessed. So we treat it a little bit differently in our story.
All right, I want to watch your video because we haven't done that yet, so I want to do that real quick.
Okay. Chicken
nuggets. Who's this guy?
What is up, Kickstarter video watchers? This is John from Part-Time Comics. We are back with Child Possession Services. We're doing a quick and dirty video. We're running out of time. This is our second Kickstarter of 2024, if you're following along. and there's a whole bunch more right behind it. So make sure that you check. We're doing subscriber count for our show, so maybe scroll all the way to the bottom of the Kickstarter to see that information. We're back with Child Possession Services. We've already had 2 great issues with co-creator Bob Ornelas. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to come back for art, but we've got a great new art team. Mata Sorcier is here on art, and she has 2 great covers for you. April Reyna did an awesome cover for us, and we've got Miriam Yasser on the internal color. So we have a whole new creative team, covers, interiors, coloring, except for I am back on writing and lettering for this book. We are so excited. This will be the 3rd issue in the series. So the series is really picking up. This heads back to where issue 1 left off in 2021. If you don't remember, Child Possession Services was the book that really kickstarted Part-Time Comics. This was our first book we put out. So we're so happy to have it back after a little bit of a hiatus here. So please, we've got shiny stickers if you're back the first week. So if you want to pick these up, please. We have great rewards. All the other Part-Time Comics books that are still in print are available in print and digital through this. So we've got awesome rewards. We've got a great new creative team, and we hope that you'll check it out, back, and share.
I saw the person yakking in the corner of that art. I was like, what is that about? Someone just barfing their guts up.
Our videos are not often up to your production level, but I often wait and agonize about them, and then end up having to just kind of put up what I can. So I appreciate people who stomach that listen through. But yeah, we've had 4 issues. 2 issues with 4 great covers at the already, so that you can get all the catch-up issues. We've got the stickers. Today is actually, I'm glad we came on today because it is the last day at 11:59 tonight. That sticker right there, you won't be able to get it with your physical tiers. We do have a stretch goal in mind for our amazing digital backers to get them something free as well. But as far as this free physical item, it ends today. I've been trying to do that the last few campaigns to get people excited early, so I hope people enjoy it.
Yeah.
Mata was nice enough it'll be a little die cut shiny foil because that is a running gag in the stories that
I was like,
keep her fish alive.
explain to people why it's a dead fish.
Seymour here. Seymour, we don't know what number. That was something that my co-creator Bob Gar insisted when we created the character, that for some reason in his mind, a way to show that she didn't have her life together is that she can't keep a fish alive. So it comes up quite often.
So she just has this fish, and she keeps replacing it because it keeps dying.
Yep. And again, we haven't officially revealed how many Seymours there have been, but rest in peace, little buddy.
Ha! Kind of funny. It's like they keep killing Kenny.
It is. We should have named it Kenny. But yeah, we got one more draw in tier as well. Mata's offered.
This spot right here is open.
Yeah, that spot. You could be a CPS worker, or there's another one where you could be a protester. So it'll be up to how whoever backs first gets to pick. So we filled 2 slots. We also had a speaking role, but that went. You get to be a judge in the courtroom and have a speaking role. But one of our longtime backers, thankful he jumped in on that.
Cool. That's always so awesome. I always call those immortality tiers because it's like you are forever in this comic. You know what I mean? You get to live forever on the page.
And I didn't do that early on in comics, and I was like, I don't know if people are going to be into it, but people are super into it. Like, we get people who back, and I don't see their name on any other. Like, we had somebody back Drumsticks of Doom, I think the 2nd issue drawing, but they didn't buy the other issues. They just wanted the one they were drawn in, and that's that's cool. If that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll come back for the rest of the issues later. But people love it. Like, I know we were talking in our chat group.
Yes.
We did have the notorious person who wants to be murdered in every book reach out to us and ask if there was murder. Sorry.
We have murder. Come on over.
I'll send her your way. I thought that was so funny. She's like, it's kind of my thing, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
It's weird. It's weird that she's so specific though, because usually I'm like, we'll draw you in, and like 90% of the time we'll squish you, and that's kind of our running gag. But for her to be specific about the way that she dies, it's like, oh,
yeah, might be getting into some some other
Kinky.
stuff going on there.
Yeah, it's like that's her own personal kink right there. That's what
Right.
that is.
Right. And I know other
Good
comic
for you.
creators ask that a lot. Like they'll draw their friends in the background or something being crushed by rubble or whatever. I
It's
know
just
that's
funny.
like an ongoing thing in the comic artist community, but I didn't think backers, but every time we put one up, we sell out of these tiers. So it's a fun thing. And I
Yeah,
haven't
man.
mentioned, this is a first for me as a creator and for Part-Time Comics. This
Really?
is our first female, all identify as female art team.
Oh, cool.
Both covers,
Hey.
or all three covers, because Mata actually did 2 covers, and Miriam Yasser is our colorist on this as well. So when I was looking for another artist after Bob said he wasn't able to continue with the series, I had met Mata Sorcier online, and she's kind of got a real sarcastic sense of humor, and she's really funny. She does a book called Sacrimony that's very very much, again, it's about a bigger story, but there's a lot of that real world drama, and it's about the interactions between the characters. So I knew she'd be a good fit.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, if I'm bringing Mata on, I should make more of an effort to work with more women in the industry. This book has a female lead, so I should really do that. So I was grateful that Miriam was able to sign on with us as well. And then I said, well, it's time for another cover. We're kind of doing a tongue-in-cheek, not safe for work, sexy cover.
Yeah.
April Reina is notorious for that, so we got her on board. So that's kind of exciting for us to be able to work with different people.
That's awesome. And it's always exciting to see new people involved, but I know sometimes it's a little scary when you have to replace your whole team. But I don't think it's affecting you at all. I think everybody is just climbing on board and ready to get more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Mata was very excited. She read the first 2 issues and she's like, I love the drama. That's what I like to draw, people's facial expressions and reacting to each other and being jerks and all that stuff is what she's very much into. And I could tell that from her story, but you never know. Sometimes you pitch it to somebody and they're like, yeah, it's not really my thing. So that's brought more excitement
Yeah.
to the series, because very much Bob Gar is very much the co-creator of this book. There's a reason it launched Part-Time Comics, because he and I worked together for 15 years now. So, this wasn't just like somebody I hired off, Fiverr or something. He's very
Right.
much involved with the series. So, I got his blessing to continue it. But it still does sting a little bit that, where his priorities are now, he's not able to continue. So, and that's a lot of my
Yeah.
books. I try to work with people who really want to be on the book. Sometimes,
But
you have to
life
hire somebody
happens.
outside of your inner circle, but
Yeah.
it's hard, when people can't continue. But he's very much, he had input into this story. Some of the story and plot points that he and I had talked about are still continuing. So he's very much still a part of the series.
Yeah, and that's cool. That's always cool when they can still be a part going forward, just a different role. You know what I mean? So that way, they're still involved and it still feels like it's part of theirs. You know what I mean? That ownership is there. Tell me about this Hold My Shipping program. This is interesting.
Yeah, so this is the first time we're offering this. We are so grateful. When we look at our Kickstarter surveys and spreadsheets, we get a lot of returning backers. We have a lot of loyal backers who back all or most of our books. So I'm always kind of agonizing about how can I get them the books and not have them, pay through the nose for shipping, especially our
Yeah.
wonderful and amazing international backers. 'Cause you know how much
Yes.
that costs.
So much.
So I'm trying something different. You've seen, I think last year, we did a couple of launches that were more than one book. So we've tried that. That's kind of had, middle results. So now we're trying something different. And basically, if you choose the add-on, which is the first add-on when you back any tier for a physical book, you can choose Hold My Shipping. As soon as the campaign's over, I'll refund your shipping, and then we'll hold it till the next one. So if you know that you're going to back any of our 3 other books coming up here and you see them listed there in the schedule,
Cool.
then we'll hold your shipping. And then whenever you're ready to cash out, if you just want the next one, Drumsticks of Doom, you don't choose Hold My Shipping. We ship all your stuff together. If you want to continue, you choose Hold My Shipping, and then it goes to LCS and then Final Heist. So we're trying it out. Only a couple people have selected it so far. But again, to me, that even if it's just a few people that save, the exorbitant shipping prices, then that's a
Yes.
success for us.
Hey man, that's awesome. It sounds like it's organizational nightmare on your part. But if you're willing
will
to
be.
jump through all the hoops, man.
And if I could scan to my office here, you would see I'm not the most organized person. I will acknowledge that, but I
Let's
will
look.
figure this out. There's just stuff everywhere behind me.
Hey,
Um,
that's why I
but
use a
yeah,
green screen.
it's definitely. But again, I think I can look at the tier, put their names up, put them on a sticky on the to-do board, and then remember for the next round and double check. But yeah, it'll be an interesting experiment. We'll see how it goes this year.
Yeah, but look at your schedule, man. It's like, okay, so you have Drumsticks of Doom, you have LCS, then you have another Drumsticks of Doom, and then you have Final Heist, and then Child. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and at the time I made that graphic, I wasn't sure of the order, so I made it nice and confusing that actually the one in the middle has
I
already
was
been
like,
funded. The one on the right is funding now. Then it's
right?
LCS. Then it's final. I jumped around a little bit, but
But at least you gave the schedule. There's the schedule. So if
yeah.
anybody is confused, but I'm sure if they just follow your socials as well, there's
Yeah, and if anything
Once-
happens and you change your mind, you want to contact us, we'll square up with the shipping. We'll figure it out.
Mhm.
If we ever, knock on wood, we're ever not able to deliver, of course, we would contact you and get the deliverables that we had by the end of the year. So if any of these books get delayed or something, we'll go ahead and close it out with everybody. But I am very proud to say in 15 years, I don't even know the number count now. I think it's 36 books I've been involved in. I've never failed to deliver crowdfunding. Not one single book has ever not delivered, and only a few have been, significantly delayed. We always find a way to deliver. If we have to change artists or we have to, make it work, we'll find a way to make it work. We're always going to get people the stuff that they support.
Absolutely. And I just want to show everybody that is watching. Jon has created 17, he's run 17 Kickstarters and backed 222. That's
17 Kickstarters, 2 Indiegogos. We actually did a program called Chip In. That was 15 years ago, one of the first crowdfunding sites.
Yeah.
So we've done over 20 crowdfunding campaigns across different sites. So I'm very proud to say
Wow.
that we find a way to get the books out there.
Right. So at this point, people, you understand that you're getting your stuff. That's what I want to communicate, because someone that's been doing this for this long wouldn't still be doing it if they hadn't fulfilled something along the way. No one would continue to back them, right? The whole point is you're getting your stuff. So let's go shopping. Digital book is $3. Woo. CPS.
Yeah, very popular, as you
win.
see.
Yeah.
Also, as we go through it, the book, the standard price, we try to control prices. We know, again,
Yeah.
same thing with the shipping program. I take pride in being thoughtful about people's hard-earned money. So it's a little bit more than a book, at the comic shop, but we try to keep the prices under control.
Yeah.
That gets you cover A.
There you go. $6.
The digital catch-up tier here, again, this is our 3rd issue in the series. It's been very popular. That's always awesome to see. People who didn't get it the first time around,
Yeah.
coming back to get the issues now. So $10 gets you all 3 issues. And the first issue was a giant size 44-page
Oh my
one
God.
shot, I should mention. So a lot of pages of comics for $10.
That's great. The Raina cover B. Is this a suitable for work one? And then there's a not suitable for work one?
This is the not safe for work cover. Again, a little tongue-in-cheek jab at our community, that's very popular nowadays.
Yeah.
Our not safe for work cover, if you zoom in on Connie's shirt, she's saying form a union on the shirt, which we know is not safe in many work environments.
Oh. That's funny.
So sorry if you're coming for the not safe for work, which a couple people reached out to be upset.
It's not there.
It's not there. It's a little bit of a joke.
Yeah. That's funny.
And again, it plays into the character themselves and how it interacts with the story. So kind of a little a gag that I came up with a while ago, and I just couldn't resist.
I want to do a not suitable for work, either print or something of Dwayne Fink. My drunk guy with the big no, just his back end sticking out. I think that would be funny.
I actually think, and I think there should be more not suitable for work male
men,
covers too,
because we don't get that. I always see his boobs these days.
Yep, you got to at least be fair, balance it out.
Got to even it out. Give us some eye candy. All right, the fairy tale cover.
Yeah, if you scroll back up in the campaign a little bit, you'll see it. just above the art. Yeah, there it is.
This
Down
one?
below, right there it is. So
Beautiful.
we don't usually do 2 variants, but this was Mata's first cover for the series. This is the first piece of art she created. And we both loved it, but she kind of came to the conclusion that because she hand drew the logos on there, it didn't really fit with the appearance of the series. So she went back a little bit, cleaned it up digitally, and that's where you get the standard cover, which was so
Gotcha.
nice of her. I mean, I told her, I'm fine with doing this as the variant, but I do feel like, it needs to have some consistency in how it appears with the other ones.
Right.
And she was more than happy to do that. So, but then we still have this great, amazing cover. So we dubbed it. It looks like, a fairy tale. Connie's falling down the rabbit hole like Alice in Wonderland
Yeah.
here of cigarettes and booze and pizza. So she just captured so much about the character in this. So it is very similar, but we're going to do it as a cardstock cover. We're going to do it matte finished. I'm going to sign and individually number the 25 of these we print. So we thought we'd do something kind of special so we could still utilize the original. And also the original art is available, which first off, that rarely happens where you have the cover art. And she colors on the board. That's the exact cover you'll get. And if you scroll up to April's too, she does the same. She hand colors. And that's also available. Both women have offered up for the good of the campaign, which again, it's very rare to have the covers.
Yeah.
A lot of people work digitally or the artists sell them themselves. And to have them both colored on the boards, I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
Both are still available. But that's how we came to the cover C, the fairy tale version of Connie falling down the rabbit hole.
Gotcha. The fish and the eyeball.
The weird eyeball. Yeah, she just captured it again. She read the first 2 and I didn't give her really any direction. And she was
Really?
like, I got this.
That's
Don't
amazing.
worry. I know what the story
That's
is
the
about.
best is when people they read the story, they know what's going on, and then they're so passionate about, things that are happening that they make this just beautiful stuff. And a lot of times I just get out of the way too. I'm like, you do your thing.
Yeah, no, I love that. I'm a very minimal scripter. I don't give people too much unless it's something key to the story. This item has to be in there. They need to be doing this. And I just love when this kind of stuff happens. And again, she obviously proving she was the right one for the job. I mean, I'm paying her obviously for her time. She could have just been like, yeah, tell me what to do and I'll draw her standing, doing whatever. And she was like, again, it was 100% her. So this was amazing.
Awesome.
But
So
I hope it
$18,
sells.
you
I
get
hope it
cover
goes
A
to
and B. What's that?
Yeah. I hope that this
just-
cover does sell through the campaign. If not, I'm happy to keep it in my collection.
Right. I was like, what happens? I love that too, where I'm like, I have some more of these big James plushies that didn't sell. I'm just going to keep them.
I kinda hope it doesn't sell
Even
a
better
little
when
bit.
it's art,
Yeah.
So I was still shopping. Cover A and B for $18. Be the first to get the book in print. Save $2. Way to go.
Yep. Save a little bit.
Yep.
And then we
The
have
book and all the previous issues. So this is kind of like a catch-up tier.
Yep, this is the first in print catch-up tier. All the standard covers will be in there. So
even with that 44-page one-shot, dang. Early Bird cover A, B, and C. So this is all issue 3, just all the covers.
exactly. Again, trying an even bigger discount there. So if people are willing to get multiple covers, we want to reward them for that.
Early Bird, the book, and all the covers. B. What's the difference?
So those are our standard variants. One was done by Robert Hafferman. One was done by artist DNS out of the UK. And then the April Reina cover for this one. So again, you can get a huge discount on all the variants. As you know, as an indie creator, those often have an extremely low print run. But again, I wanted to reward people. If you're willing to plunk down your money and get all the variant covers, we'll give you a big discount on that.
Cool. All the PTC books, digital. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is awesome because you get everything. Bulletproof Chicken was awesome.
Bulletproof Chicken Nuggets.
Yeah.
There is in the Bulletproof Chicken universe, there is an issue is called Chicken Nuggets, which was our short story from that. But yeah, all of the 15 part-time comics books and a couple when I was with another company called Kingbone Press. So you're going to get a ton of books in that catch-up tier in digital, and we do also have it in print, so you get a whole bunch.
All 7 covers of the first 3 issues of CPS. That's amazing for that price. Holy moly.
Yep, and I think I limited that to 3, so only 1 left.
Yeah.
If you want to get all the part-time
There's
comic stuff, which a few people have
1
been so
left.
gracious to do,
Go grab it, somebody.
we'll give you at a discount.
Full page ad. Get in there and advertise.
Yeah, and those have been popular too.
Yeah.
Just like the draw and tiers, I'm always surprised that people think well enough of us to get their books out there. That includes, of course, updating our Kickstarter backers with your information, updating all of our social media that you're a sponsor. So, even outside of the ad, we're going to promote whatever you got going on.
That's cool. Early bird, all the PTC books, $85. How many books were in this? Holy crap.
How many books are in that 18 with the Bulletproof Chicken? That again includes all the cover A's of all the series. Deep Powered,
Drumsticks
to
1 through
Doom,
4.
CPS 1, 2, and 3. On the Stack, which was our Magic the Gathering tribute. Up and Let's Go, which was our Simpsons tribute, and Bulletproof Chicken 1, 2, and 3. So a lot of huge stack of books. And that, you see, we have one amazing backer. That it's probably the best feeling at this point, being in the comic scene for a long time, and then each campaign we get 1 or 2 people that are just like, give me all your shit, and that's just like, wow, you saw something you like, you apparently hadn't noticed till this date because you hadn't had any other books and you want it all at once. That's like, that's so cool.
That's awesome. I love it. And I love those catch-up tiers. When you see a ton of people in the catch-up tier, you're like, ooh, I found a whole new group of people. That's great. Get drawn into the book with a non-speaking role. Here's that rioter position. Cool.
1 left. And Mata has been so gracious to put in the original art. She was considering digital. She does do some digital work. She decided that it was quicker and better, and she felt like more confident in doing it straight on the 11x17 boards. So she's been gracious enough to give that. So after the campaign, I'll contact you. You get to first pick of the pages by how you back. So I thought that was pretty cool of her.
Hi, Kevin. Yeah, that is super cool of her. Well,
and I put both on there. I'm sorry to be confusing with the thumbnail, but again, there's one for Mata's cover, which is the pizza eyeball one, and then right below it, there's April Reina, the not safe for work cover below it.
Gotcha.
Again, both of the ladies. I'll be happy again to keep those covers, but if somebody wants to take them home, they are available.
Yeah. Okay. So no confusion here, people. This one is this cover on the left. This one is the cover on the right.
Yep.
All gone. Yep.
All gone. The speaking role went pretty early, so that was cool to see. And again, we always deliver on our books. We're about halfway done with it. Obviously, holding a couple of pages for the draw and tiers. And once we get funded, book should be done in a month or so, and we'll get it printed and shipped by June of this year.
Amazing. That's awesome. And then it's just like on to the next thing. And you're going to be running the next thing actually pretty shortly, right? When's the next one?
Yep. This ends in early April, and then first week of May, we'll be launching our first ever Zoop campaign.
I want to go look at this.
It's not a soup.
Despite not a people will tell you, Chad.
It's not.
Well, he's not around. I've never run a Zoop.
I also have never run a Zoop, and I was kind of interested in expanding. You don't want to go all in on one platform or website or whatever. These days, you got to diversify. People tell me. So, for those who don't know, Zoop is 100% comic centric. When they do their updates on their site right now, if you go to like the campaigns at the top, it's all the campaigns are there. So it's very much like a pre-order site. It's different. Like Kickstarter, you go to Kickstarter, there's 1,000 campaigns. Mm-hmm. When they send out email updates, they'll send out a handful of featured ones. But with Zoop, they promote your book. They any of the updates they go on, they tell all their followers, this one's starting, this one's ending, this one's, so they do a lot of promotion because it's just comics. So I was interested in it, right? Because they focus on comics. I've seen some people do some campaigns. I like how they lay out their campaign. You don't have to do the tiers like we just went through. It's very much pre-order a la carte. You get your main book, and then all the add-ons are there. I want this one. I want this one. I want that one. So it's very different than a Kickstarter page. So I just kind of reached out to them. Hey, we've had some success with Drumsticks of Doom, but I'd like to relaunch our trade paperback on there, see if your audience is interested. And they said, well, honestly, you've already run a successful Kickstarter. A lot of our audience is crossover, but we really like the series. They were very excited about it. They said, do you have a new issue? We'd be happy to, feature you. And that's a good feeling, right? They're like excited about it. They want you to be part of the partnership in their website. So that was kind of how we came to this conclusion. Let's try it out. I know people are very loyal to their sites, but we're hoping that, the audience will cross over with us as we launch the next series, which is a mini series, Drumsticks of Doom, Band on the Silver Mountain, as Lana and the gang head to the notorious Silver Mountain to record her first album. If you've been following
I could zoom in on this picture. I was like, that's an alligator.
It's the Arachnigator, and dun, 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 dun.
What?
Also with this campaign will be Argyle the Arachnigator stuffed
Plushie.
animal.
He didn't want to say the P word. Plushie. Look, he's got 8 legs. That's amazing.
He's got 8 legs.
And 4 eyes.
And 4 eyes.
That's so cool.
He is a character in the series. I've been verbally berated by our mutual friend Corissa Grant to get into the plushie game. And so that is going to be part of this campaign too. The first time it will be available for Argyle the Arachnigator plushie as well. So we're trying something different, both merchandise wise and site wise, and I hope that people will follow along.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to play for you. I know that you're in it, so let's do this real quick.
Hold on. I think I'm bleeding. Am I bleeding? Ow! Ow! Nose and lips! Okay, ow. Can I? Ow! Ow! Wait! Ow! Please, Mr. Hood.
Never gets old. Let's
5 part cracks me up.
Message. Oh my Lord. It just never ends, right?
It never ends. But I feel fortunate. I know that I'm very grateful for those who stick around and deal with that and still don't mute me on social media. We certainly, if there was an easier button I could click to get everyone the information and not have to feel like such a nuisance, I would do it. But it's just not that way.
It's not. And I mean, like, we say it all the time. Like, we apologize that we have to do it all the time, but we have to, because the algorithm, like John's promoting, and sometimes I won't see John's post for 2 days or 3 days or a week later. And it's different for everybody. So we all have to promote like that in order for people to see us, because it takes a few days for it to kick in. Someone just liked one of my posts, and it was like halfway through my campaign, and I was like, we're done now.
Late to the game.
Like, we're done now, right? No.
Nope. And if you do, if it ever feels overwhelming, we certainly understand. Every time I send out a mailing list update, I feel like I get a couple unsubscribers. We get it. No feelings hurt there, but it's easier if you just go to my link tree right here.
Yeah.
And you can get all the books, but I've done that before. Put up a book for pre-order on our website, crickets. Put it up on Kickstarter, 150 backers. It's like, it's such a weird conundrum to be in that we kind of you have to do the crowdfunding, because that's what gets people excited. At this point, again, I've been doing this for 15 years. You'd think I'd have a couple hundred people that if I posted, hey, it's in my web store, they would go get it. But I've done that multiple times, and we'll get 7, 12, 14, which is great. I appreciate that, but it's not the excitement that a crowdfunding campaign brings. So, you got to go with what works. Otherwise you'll be out of business. So
that's true. And I know you have to take off early today, but there's a couple things before you start telling people where to find you. I already put the links. Everybody that's watching, there's a ton of people watching right now, by the way. Thank you for being here. But I just want to remind you, the best way to support indie creators is by going to the campaigns that are being run and by supporting. That's how you ensure that Jon gets to keep making, original content. That's how we get our entertainment these days. It's definitely not by watching Hollywood. We are not entertained. So make sure you going back, take some time to go click around, see what pledge works for you, whether it's digital, physical, all that cool stuff. And as of today, you still qualify for that shiny dead fish sticker, which is hilarious, by the way. Yeah, they're
already
so
in the
cool.
mail. They're shiny.
They are shiny. I love them.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, go there. But I also want to say, Jon, there's a lot of people that are watching that are also creators. What's, your recommendation for them if they're brand new and they're starting out? What's some advice that you can give them after, you've been doing this for so long? Give our watchers some advice.
Well, I think if you're having hesitation about starting, there is a great community out there. We love to help new people. So many people helped me along the way. I think sometimes people feel bad. They'll DM me and be like, "I'm sorry to ask you, but I had some questions." It's like, no, don't feel bad.
Yeah.
So many people helped me. I want to help other people. The advice still that I usually give, and a mistake I made early on is and a lot of people have gone the other way, and that's fine. But I would still start with something small. I would see the whole process through. If it's an 8-page story, a 10-page story, put it up online, print it yourself. Just see a project through. And then after you're done with that, you can kind of collect and say what went well, what didn't go well. Then you get a couple under your belt, and then you can do your bigger stories. You don't have to, of course. Anybody live your life how you want to, but that's always the suggestion that I give, because and really try to do it all yourself. Even if you feel like I cannot draw better than a third grader, I don't know the technology. Just try it, draw it, letter it, scan it, do it, everything, because you'll have greater empathy for all of your creators that you work with. I know I recently, actually, after a decade, did my first drawn story, which I had never really had the courage to do. But it was just a 3-page story. I drew it on boards. I scanned it in. I lettered it myself. I colored it myself.
Dang.
Beginning to end. And it was just a 3-page story. But I realized even after a decade of doing this, I needed to take that step. And of course, I own the company. Why can't I make that decision, right? If anybody's going to prove it, why wouldn't I? And, it wasn't the greatest story. It was in our Simpsons anthology, a Simpsons spoof. But I felt like I could handle a style like that. And again, even what gave me the greatest empathy was scanning the thing in. It was so frustrating. I could not get it right, that it just, by the end, at least I had that. So now when my artist tells me I'm a little bit delayed, blah, 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 I can say,
I get it.
I understand a little bit better now that the struggle it is to get from script to page to print. So I encourage everybody, start small, do it all yourself to try, and then you can kind of see, okay, where are my strengths at, and who do I need to bring into the team to make my next project even better.
That's some great advice. I think sometimes people are not aware of all of the challenges for each person on the team. And I think that if we spent some time wearing each other's hats, that we could probably be more empathetic and understanding about how the process works. So that's great advice.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Jon, for coming on. Where can people follow you? I know you have your link tree there listed, but tell us, and anything else that you want to tell us before you got to run.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you having me on. As always, I appreciate your collaboration, camaraderie, and friendship, and all the many groups that we cross paths in. So
yes,
I appreciate it. But yeah, the easiest place to find me is Part-Time Comics. Linktree leads to all of our upcoming campaigns that we talked about, our mailing list, our social medias, our YouTube, which we're trying to get more active in. All of that can be found. The easiest way to find us, though, if you forget all that, Part-Time Comics with an X at the end. If you search that in Google, all of our stuff comes up. So that's usually the easiest way to find us. We've always got something going on. I'm very active on social media. I'm one of the few people in the world left that still enjoy social media. I enjoy meeting people like Laurie and other people through the nuisance that is social media. So I'm on there all the time. And again, if you're a new creator, I'm always happy to give what little knowledge I have about this field if you want to chat for a little bit.
That's awesome. And I highly recommend that people reach out to Jon if you have questions. He's a great resource. I've learned a ton of stuff from Jon, and I appreciate you 100% from my heart. Anytime I'm posting stuff, I see Jon like liking and commenting, and even if it's something funny and sarcastic, it's a comment to get people to go read what I posted. So it's all with the purpose, and we have a good time teasing each other. I told him I was going to make him watch all my videos today when he came on. So
Yeah, no, I appreciate it too. And that's something I always say to people. We understand money's tight. Not everybody can support, but even if
Right.
you think I only have 3 backers on Facebook or 3 followers, no one's going to look at it. It all helps. A
It
share
all
really helps. In some ways, it helps even more than backing. So if you can't back, please just a quick share out, a quick like or comment on a post really goes a long way.
It's 100% does. Thank you so much again, Jon. And we
Thank
look
you.
forward
Sorry
to
I
the
had to
next
run out on
time.
you early. I'll try and schedule better in the future.
What's that?
I'll try and schedule better in the future so I
Oh,
can
no,
build the
it's
whole
all
show.
right. It's okay. Yeah, and we
Thank you.
appreciate you just coming on and sharing with us all the cool stuff.
Thank you.
All
Talk
right.
to
We'll
you
see you
soon.
again next time. Bye. All right. Ah! Tell us what the heck. Hey, he's back from the dead, everybody. It's Pops Van Zant. How are you? You were on mute.
The governor called. I got a reprieve.
Okay, so you're no longer on death row.
Not till next month.
Are you okay? How are you doing, sir? Everybody has been concerned about you.
I'm still pretty sore. My chest is still pretty fucked up. But
Yeah.
until the inflammation goes down, they can't fix it. So
Okay, so they're trying to control that.
full
And then
liquid
you're scheduled.
diet for a month, and then they're going to go in and staple my diaphragm closed.
You have a hernia. Is that
It's a
what's going
hiatal
hiatal
hernia.
Yeah, when your stomach starts pushing through your diaphragm.
It was
Yeah.
all up in there. My
Your
stomach,
entire stomach?
it was partying with my lungs. It was twisted. That was why I was having the issues.
Jesus.
You know the issues I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what it was. Nobody had any. I had no idea. Then I'd tell mine. She's like, "Oh, that happened to me. How come you didn't tell me this shit could happen?"
Jeez.
But yeah, I'm supposed to take it easy, and I got the
Liquid diet for
full
a month?
liquid diet.
You're gonna be a skeleton by the
I
time
know.
they
I
go
ain't got
in.
no weight to give up, man.
That's
It's
what I'm
like,
saying. Like, you will lose a ton of
I'm
weight
gonna be
being on a
doing.
liquid diet.
Well, I've got some plans, but I'm gonna be doing lots of milkshakes, lots of calorie.
Protein, yeah, high
you know,
calorie. You're gonna need to.
but also, I mean, I got some plans for take some of that and at least make it so that my taste buds are happy, even if my stomach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've been on liquid diet before. I had my gallbladder removed years ago, so I get it. Like, you don't seem full on a liquid diet. You just
Never.
don't.
You
You're
just
hungry
always
all
wanna
the
eat.
time. So I don't envy you. I don't know why they sent you home to do that at home. God.
Well, I'm not sitting in the hospital for 30
Hugo.
years.
That no. Mm.
I mean, look.
You're gonna put that all in the blender? Blah.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing. They were like, hey, the doctor's like, hey, if you can put it in a blender, and I don't care if you have, meatloaf. And I was like, that's just gross.
Ew. You need one of those boba straws, the big ones.
Oh man. So yeah, like I said, my chest's still pretty lit up until
Yeah.
the inflammation goes down. They just can't do anything. So, I decided I have a month. I have a month before I'm gonna be laid up again, and then I'm gonna be laid up for a lot longer.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you have to go for the surgery and then you need to recover. So
Right, I'm gonna be laid up for a lot longer. So I need to get some shit done.
yeah. So what are you getting done?
And one of the things that I realized, look, we've been working toward this Roku thing, and I'm real good at running the network and getting the shows up and getting them shared out and doing all the stuff. But I wasn't really laying the groundwork that needed to be in place to build a network. Okay. I need to get the LLC, get the lawyers to write up the contracts for investors and sponsors and showrunners, so it's all legit and above board. I need a lawyer to write up my terms of service for the network in relation to the showrunners and whatnot. Right? I need a lot of this stuff done that I wasn't even thinking about. I was just thinking about getting the money and getting the server and getting the. You see what I'm saying? I wasn't doing this in the right order. Okay.
Don't put the cart in front of the horse. I think that's
so. I'm not going to run a crowdfunding campaign to lay the groundwork for the Madness Entertainment Group, but I did start a GoFundMe.
Okay.
To lay the groundwork for the Madness Entertainment Group.
That will definitely help.
Basically, what I'm asking help with is to get the LLC, to get the contracts in place, so that we can get the developer to work on the network and get the network up and running. But we have to have, I have investors. I have Dan Riley from Whimsyland, okay? Tom Doherty from Committed Comics, Nira X. These guys are like, I'm going to throw money at you, Pops. And I'm like, I'm not going to take your money until I can give you a contract saying what your return of investment's going to be. Okay? So I have people ready to throw money at us. When we get the groundwork for the business in place, we will go to work, right to freaking work on developing the Roku network. But I have to do this shit in the right order. Okay?
And Hugo, so you got to set up the business to be able to do the business of the business. Yep.
Yeah. And
how it goes.
I was talking to Ray, Tug's website, Tug's web guy, Ray Haylock. I was talking to him. We talked for like 3 hours before I went to hospital.
Yeah.
And he was like, Pops, you need to take all the things you want to do, put them in a hat, take them out and address them one at a time. Put them in the right order.
Yes.
Okay? And I didn't even really have to do that, because as soon as he said put them in the right order, I realized I wasn't approaching this correctly. I mean, yeah, it's great. I have the network in place. We have people, we have shows that are going to Roku. I got all that, but I wasn't thinking in terms of how am I actually going to go there? I can't just go to Roku and go, hey, I'm Pop, take my shit.
They'd be like, who in the what?
So we decided upon Madness Entertainment Group, because that way we can umbrella over any multiple things we do. If we do a Madness Row show, whatever we decide to do in the future, we can do it under the umbrella of the Madness Entertainment Group. So I'm asking everybody, man, and I'm about to drop this link right here. I don't care if it's $5, man. Help us get this thing rolling. Help us get this thing up where I can actually take this investor money and build this network. Like I said, we have people that are already willing to throw money at us that believe in what we're doing. Okay. I have to do it right. I have to do it legit. I have to do it above board. I have to be able to show people this is all done by people who know, not by Pops.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah, well, you mentioned a lot of it, but I was talking about a merger at the time and not worrying about having to do that for myself. If you remember, Al, we were talking about a merger. So, now I'm doing it myself. That's different. Okay. So, I wasn't, that was a completely different thing that we were doing and talking about. It's not this. It could have been this, it could have been this. We could be talking about that right now instead of this, but this is what I'm doing. I appreciate anybody and everybody who throws the tiniest amount at us, because the sooner we get the money for the LLC, the sooner I can look, then I get to look at the lawyer and I get to to put the lawyer to work, to write up the contracts. And then I can present contracts to the investors, and then we're off. And you can ask Thomas or Daniel. They both tell you, yeah, I'm throwing money at Pops as soon as we got this groundwork laid. So, and you know, the cool thing was Daniel probably would have thrown this money at me anyway. Thomas probably would have thrown this money at me anyway. And I was the one that went, no, I ain't taking your money until I can give you a contract. Or we'd already been to work on some of this. You know, I'd have been using investor money to lay the groundwork. And I don't think that's how that's supposed to work. The investor money should go toward the network, toward the Roku platform itself, because that's what they're investing in. You know what I mean? The Madness Entertainment Group can go all kinds of different directions that those investors don't have anything to do with. You know what I mean? So this is the plan, people. We're building this thing. I'm doing this no matter what. Okay, no matter what, we're going to do this one way or another. But I don't want to go crowdfunding to build the Roku network. I'd rather have investors, partners, people I know, people I like, people I trust involved in what we're doing right now. You know, so. Oh, dude, I've shared that link all over the place, man. It's pinned to my Twitter. It's pinned to my Facebook. It's pinned to the group. It's, you know, that link is everywhere, bro. If you're following me, you'd see it.
Yeah, but you know, the algorithm sometimes doesn't push it out, but Pops did post it everywhere. This just launched 18 hours ago. It's not like it's been around for a week yet. So
they launched it on Monday Madness last night. So, you know, I mean,
if everybody could share it as well, that would help the reach. It doesn't cost you anything to share. It just share it out there. You don't even have to put a description. Just get eyes on it.
The coolest thing is after I launched it, Jeff Earls from the Baron Earl Show, you know Jeff, he wrote up a really cool write-up about it and shared it out. And it's like I pinned that to my Facebook because it's way better than anything I could say. You know?
Can I put it up on the screen?
Let me see.
It's up to you.
Let me see if I can. Not that one. Hold on. Let's get on the right page first.
I've never done a GoFundMe before, like or supported one. So I just wanted to show it off so people can see. It looks pretty easy. Where you just
I thought you meant the postage.
No, I'm talking about GoFundMe itself.
Yeah,
so people know what it looks like, and because I put a link there too. But go for it. Just so people can see what it looks like. This is very simple. The link takes you right to here, and I love how it has like the little link, so you can share the link. You can share it right to Facebook, X, or email. And it looks like there's a couple more options. So pretty easy to donate, and $2,500, and there's no time frame on this.
No, it's look, as I get money, I'm gonna put it to use. Okay, when I have enough for the LLC, then I might pull it and get the LLC so I can move on to the next thing. But if this gains any traction, we could use this for put it. Just tell me, hey man, if you give me this much, we'll consider you an investor as opposed to just a contributor. You know, and once we get into the Roku side of it, you know, when the groundwork's laid, then we can even use this to take money and give investor contracts to people that pay a certain amount, right? You know, I mean, I don't know if that's legal or not. I'd have to talk to a lawyer, obviously, but you can extend the goal. You see, so once we have the groundwork laid, then I can extend the goal to even continue on to get more money for the actual platform itself. You know,
a tattooed QR code. Hugo, explain this. Have you tried writing that link wherever the docs are going to be checking you out? The docs? Oh, you mean like the doctors? Like you're going to put the link on your body so they can scan.
It's funny because I had that Marvel backpack with me.
Yeah.
And the people that are interested in comics mentioned the Marvel backpack. And those are the people that got business cards.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Oh, you like that, man? We got a whole network about that stuff. Check this out.
You know, that's not a bad idea, though, to do a temporary tattoo with a QR code.
When you're at the cons, right?
Yeah, where you could tattoo it like on the back of your hand and be like, scan this, and it takes them to something.
That
Your
is.
web page, or
How come every time me and you get together on the show, all we do is come up with ideas for shit?
because that's what happens. Get some money back from those doctors.
That's pretty fun. But yeah, I did hand out some business cards. There was a few of them nurses that were like either have kids that are into comics or actually like are Marvel movie fan type people, you know. And I was like, I just jumped right on it. Well, we're not Marvel. We're everybody else. You know, we're all the independent people that don't have a big old giant conglomerate promoting what we do.
Right.
You know, so you know. One thing I can promise people, y'all know my work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody can doubt my work ethic, and there's nobody out there telling anybody that I ever ripped them off or any shit like that. Yeah, I might have I've supported some people that turned out to be shitty at times, but you know, who hasn't, right? We've all been behind somebody that turned out to be less than worth our time, so to speak. You know. I've worked hard at this, man. And, you know, this is the other thing, Laurie. I miss doing CromCon.
Aww.
I want my freaking show back, and I got to get this thing up and running so I can go back to doing what I really loved to do, which was my monthly online con, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And can you imagine if I could do it live on Roku?
That would be cool.
Come
Get
on,
a lot more
man.
eyes on stuff, you know?
Help me out. I ain't bullshitting here. You guys know I'm in this chair every day doing what I do. Let me take it to the next level and do it harder. You know, I mean, really, I support all you guys to get your shit to the next level. All of you. And you know,
really, that's all this is support Pop so then he can turn around and push us to the next level.
dude, I mean, I'm always trying to push you guys to the next level. You know, when I met RJ, he had never fulfilled a campaign.
Yeah.
I liked his idea so much. I was like, dude, I'm with you to the end. I'm going to get you in a warehouse. I'm going to tell people about what you do. I'm going to keep talking about what you do. And look at RJ. And I'm not taking all the credit for it because he's the one that does the work. But that damn straight been telling people about him for a long time.
Yeah.
You know? And some of them people did call him because Pops told them what was up, how this works, how you know, RJ, dude, I never heard of anybody complain about a package they got from RJ or not getting a package they were supposed to get through RJ's service, or I've never heard anybody complain as a campaigner that he fulfilled that they didn't like the way he did it. I've never heard anybody complain, and it don't cost nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't cost you nothing. But it don't cost you nothing. You know, look at me. I'm sitting here promoting somebody else.
Carissa.
Because that's what I do, guys.
Hi, Carissa.
Everybody else. Hi, Carissa.
Oh, let's go check on, speaking of promoting, just real quick.
Bing, 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 bing,
I wanted to see Carissa's campaign and see where it's at and make sure I give her a shout out because I think her campaign is wrapping up soon.
Mm-hmm.
And so if people haven't had a chance to go or they're waiting for their paycheck to hit on Friday, let's give her a shout out real quick. Ooh, they flipped to hours. She's at 56 hours to go. She's got 97 backers, people. We need a few more. Oh, look, you put it in plastic.
I put it in a baggie for now, but I'm going to find something that works well as a sleeve cover or whatever, you know, something.
It is book cloth.
This, everybody.
Yeah, the black on black is super cool.
Dude, look, I mean, you said it all right here in it. Okay, you know, you said it all, and I really appreciate that. But I want you guys to know that you are going to love the people that back these. You are going to love these. Okay, this little thing. My grandson Gabe.
Yeah,
it's a comic book for little guys.
Oh, that's so cute.
You know, because I was showing it to him. I was like, look, this is all 4 of Laurie's books in one little book. And he got a comic for little guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some more with that when things kind of calm down. I want to see if I can do
No,
skinnier. Like I won't be able to do hardcover, or maybe I just take the spine out. Like I'm gonna experiment too to see if I can do thinner ones. Or
the
maybe
only
print
thing, the
in
only thing
card.
I can say is I can't read that tiny ass writing.
No, and that's not what it's intended
I know,
for,
I
like,
know.
honestly.
But
And
I
I
did
warned people too. I
the
was like,
first
"There's
thing I
some
tried to
spots
do
where
was see
it's
if I
so
could
tiny
start
you
reading it.
can't." Yeah.
That was the first thing I did. Can I read this? I put my glasses on. I was like, nah.
No, some of it you can, but, some of it it's super tiny where it's like, "Oh, man." So I don't know if I could do a little bigger or play around with the size or just it's really just meant to be shelf candy. It's super cool. Like, the
It's
people that
beautiful.
are getting these are also getting a full, book, trade
Yes,
paperback, most of them.
but there you
So,
go. You know,
yeah, they're
I
super
love
cool.
it. Thank you very much.
I got, like, 5 more to make. I'm excited.
Dude. And you
You're
know,
welcome, girl.
this is the first one. It doesn't have all the stuff on the pages on the outside of the pages.
No.
All that. It's just the first one she did, and I wanted it.
Yeah, it was like I
So
wasn't even intending on sending that to anybody. I was just like, "Well, it's all kinda jacked up." Like, I messed up the front, the edge was too long, so I had to cut it, and then it overlaps, and then, like, some of the pages are out of order, and I had invested in one of those guillotines, those paper cutters,
right.
so then the pages were nice and even, and then I could paint them, and, so yeah, that one was just kinda like the test, but when you saw it and you were like, "I want that," and I was just like, "Really?
I was like, that's mine.
That one's for me." I'm like, "Alright."
And there, check Wayne out because of RJ. He's talking to other writers about working on books together.
See?
He's like, look, man, this is what we do, guys. We bounce fan bases off each other. We bounce creators and artists off each other.
Mhm.
A lot of things have happened in indie comics because of people who have met in the madness.
Yeah. It's just a
Tons
good
of things,
community.
man. You know, it's like if I make one person, if I help one person sell a book a day,
That's a
I feel
win.
like I'm killing
Yeah.
it. Okay. Because that's what I'm out here trying to do is help people sell books. But when we have launch parties and people's books fund or I mean, always over halfway to fund, no matter who it is, what
Yeah.
it is, it's like when we do that and we see how happy they are about what we're doing, I can't stop doing this, but I need your help to really take it to the next level, to do this right. Okay. I can do this thing forever and never really,
Get tired or no, it's just
I
it's
mean,
fun.
but I mean, I could do this forever, but it would never
It would never yeah.
blow up, right?
Right.
We got to go to Roku. I want you guys' stuff, your shows, your comics, your short films. I want it all on Roku for you. Help me make that. Help me make it happen. I'm serious business. Look, Laurie, you are rapidly approaching your personal 100th episode as the host
Really?
of the Tuesday Morning Brew. You are, I think, 21 weeks away from 100. You're like
Wow.
79 right now. 79 episodes as the host of the Tuesday Morning Brew. And you've done awesome.
Thank you.
You've done freaking awesome. Now I'm looking at the numbers right now, and your Twitter page, your Path of the Pale Rider Twitter, there are 30 freaking people watching you right now on your Twitter
Hi,
page.
Twitter.
You know,
I love you.
this is what I'm talking about. We kept expanding, we kept adding things to it. We kept what can we do next? What can we do next to keep making this thing bigger and bigger and bigger? There's no reason to stop doing that.
Mm-hmm.
No reason to sit and rest on laurels that aren't there yet.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I'm saying? Now, when the Madness Entertainment Group becomes a reality and we start developing the Roku channel, it's all action from there on out, guys. Ain't nothing gonna stop me, man. I just need to build the proper legal groundwork so that nobody can take this down. Help me out. That's all.
Mr. Big, we love you. Look, he's in here. I love this. Mr. Big believes in kicking up and back, kicking it back, paying it forward, all of that. Oh, and thank you.
Wayne's been a sponsor of us a couple times.
And Hugo,
and stuff.
I feel you, man. Hugo actually got to touch one of these at Texoma. He came to see me and some of the other guys, Sam Vera and George Medina was there, and he came and hung out with us for a while. And so I had a few of them there, so we got to see them and feel them, and like they feel really good.
I really wish Hugo and Lou would join
us.
our Slaughterville game on Friday. Not just be in the chat.
God, we would laugh the entire time. Hugo,
I think we're gonna wrap New Neighbors this week, and we're gonna be starting Moonlit Night or whatever the next one is. And I'd love to have a couple more people join our little ghost hunting group. You know,
come and play.
It'd be awesome, dude. You guys are so
and you
funny.
actually get to interact with Karen.
That's what I mean. They do in the chat already. They'd be
they're
already so funny. It'd be great to have them join us in the actual game. It'd be awesome. Dude, you know what I'm saying? Dude, I want everybody to be successful. I want everybody to fund their comics, get them out in people's hands. I'm a comic fan. Okay, putting comics and books and whatever in people's hands is the deal, right?
He says he has a day job, so he's just listening and commenting. But yeah, I get you.
Dang.
Darn it.
We have to figure something out. Maybe start a different game at a different time so that some of those day job people can join us. You know, I don't know. We got time for that kind of stuff. But
maybe. I don't know. We start going in the afternoons and evenings. My kiddos are around. It gets a lot harder. I can do this because they're at school.
It's funny because like sometimes the day ones, like people have doctor's appointments, everything, and it's like those. And if you go to nighttime, and then the kids are in the way, and it's like, look, people.
Well, you get who you get. Everybody can do the thing.
I need to go.
You need to go for me to ditch my day job, don't we all? Help Laurie pay for
Yeah.
Help you go.
So yeah, there it is, people. That's the GoFundMe to help lay the foundation for the Meg, and I like that, the Meg, because you guys know Meg from Family Guy.
The shark.
The Meg.
Which Meg? You're talking about Meg from Family Guy?
Any Meg, they're all there's. That's what I mean. There's so many of them would be the Meg.
Yeah, I was thinking the shark, the Megalodon or something.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, there's so many different ways.
movies.
Yeah, however you see it, right? We're the Meg. And look, I've been serving people for almost 5 years because I love to. That's not going to change, guys. It's not going to change. I want to do better. I want to do more. I want to make it bigger. That's all. All the showrunners now, Laurie, she runs the Tuesday Morning Brew, and even though it was a madness show before she took that show, Laurie's still going to get half the Roku ad revenue for anything this show generates when we're on Roku. It's her show. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's all of the showrunners will get half of the Roku ad revenue generated by their show. All of them. And the other half obviously will go toward maintenance and upkeep and marketing for the network. And of course, somewhere in there, I got to give investors money back. Or return investment of whatever agreement we have. Somebody already talked to me about how to extend once we get to there. It's like, see what I mean? It's like they believe in what we're doing. Okay, and I've had other people talk to me about it. I only had 2 that said I could drop their name. Okay, and those are 2 that are committed, and that's Thomas and Daniel. But I've talked to quite a few other people about investing in what we're doing. I just don't have a contract to lay out. I got to do this right. So, what's up, Glenn? What's happening?
I think this is not the first time he did that. I think he dropped that actually earlier too. Yep. I was like, yeah. I see you. I see you. I see you, Glenn.
We was talking about him last night on Monday Madness too.
Yeah. What's he
Yeah,
doing up
Doc said something about he was going to go do some lettering or something, and I was like, "You going to do it Glenn style?"
there? Yeah, the old school hand lettering.
Like, because Glenn's a master at doing
Yes.
all of it himself.
Yes.
You know, it's like, yeah.
Puts us all to shame with our digital stuff. I
Not
love
just-
watching Glenn's videos where like the hand lettering tool was so
That's
cool.
what I'm
Like I didn't
talking
even know that was a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He's just like, you know, pretty freaking awesome. If you don't know about Glenn, go look at his YouTube channel, Glenn Fleming. Go check it out.
Glenn was on my show. He was on this show. And I was like, sorry, everybody, we're going to watch these time-lapse drawings because I want to. So it was just like, you're all going to watch it with me. And I just put it on. I was like, we're doing this now. That's really funny. Yes.
You could have Bugsy on Prime, but I don't know if I'm going to be the one to get you there. But you can definitely put us. You can definitely put anybody who's doing short films or episodic live action of their comic books or whatever. You want to put that on the Roku? Bring it,
Mr. Big. That was your commercial. That was a new commercial for me. That was really cool.
Yes,
About
that's
Bugsy.
that's Mr. Biggs. That's it.
Gotcha. Very cool.
Another hour and a half.
Yes, please.
Just speed it all up. Just put it in one and just speed it all up.
Things to put on when you are just want to focus on one thing. It's like that's so cool. So cool.
So I don't know why. I don't know why I thought I could do this without laying the groundwork.
Well, I mean, it's just.
Do you remember how it started though? It started as a beta test.
Yeah.
Can we get enough content to make it worth doing? Okay. And then once I had good content, I had people providing content weekly and the network's rolling along. It's like, okay, now I'm just like totally went straight to let's get the channel developed. Let's get the server. Oops.
Yeah. Oops.
So I'm on the right path now. Everything's planned out. Everything is laid out, and it just depends on how fast money comes in to do things. Okay. I'd really love to get this thing, get the whole groundwork laid before I go back in the hospital, because then I'm going to be laid up for a little bit longer. I'll probably be down for a couple weeks. I probably won't be too comfortable sitting in the chair for a while. So I'm not going to be able to do a lot then. So I need to get as much done as I can now. And I need your help. I'm asking y'all help us out. Help all of us.
Help us
Chris,
help you.
Chris, Doc, everybody who's running the show here, Brian, all these people, their content's good, man. Brian's Horror Movie Club and Spaghetti Western Jamboree, those should be on Roku. Both of them.
That would be cool.
Because YouTube chops them all up.
What's the total dollars needed? It's 2,500. Is the goal.
And that's, like I said, I'm pretty sure you're allowed to withdraw as you go, right? When I get to the amount that I need for the LLC, I'm going to get the LLC so that we can go to work right away. Then when I get the money for the lawyer, I'm going to pay the lawyer. But I'm not just going to sit here and wait till I get to 2,500. I'm going to go to work as soon as I can, because I got investors that want to get involved in this. So, Sci-Fi Saturday Night.
Yeah.
See, dude, there's a lot of things. There's tons of shows people can do, and we have plenty of time slots that we can fit you into if you have an interest in doing a show on the network. But if you come to the network, you want to bring a show to the network, please bring a little donation to the network too. so that we can actually get this thing up on Roku. Help us out, man. That's all. I ain't gonna stop working for you guys.
Oh, I know, folks. I love that. If your name is Mr. Big, we assume you know, folks. Let's just say that. Right.
I mean, look, guys, this ain't rocket science. The more eyes you get on your projects, the more money you're gonna make.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm trying to do that's all I've ever tried to do is get eyes on what people do from the beginning with CromCon. They couldn't set up tables all through COVID summer. Couldn't set up no table.
Yeah.
We started doing CromCons. People could come out here online and still get seen and their products still be purchased. It didn't have anything to do with anything but helping people. And that's still all it is. It's been about helping people get eyes on what they do. Laurie does it. Doc does it. Everybody in the network does it because we all believe in the same thing. It's not a competition, yo. It's co-opetition. That's what's going to get you all selling books.
What's funny? Everybody likes something different. And, Corissa has been doing these questions about movies recently where she just, was looking for audience participation and people have been answering those like crazy. But she'll say stuff like, what's one part of a movie that ruined the whole movie? And I put in like Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire when he turned all emo and he was dancing around, like that ruined the movie for me. But you should see the responses. People are like, this is what made the movie great. You know what I mean? And it's like some like these are terrible. You were watching again, you'd never wish it on your enemy. And some people are like, it's Hereditary. It's like Hereditary was a great movie to me. And so there's people all over the map. So that's my point. Did you see that's exactly I'm proving your point. It's indie. No, I didn't see which one you said.
I said Han Solo.
Oh, that's her last one. It's like what death was pointless.
Chewbacca is dead. Long live Han. Because in the EU is the other way around. Chewbacca died. Han was still alive.
I really think killing off Han Solo was crazy too. But I think that they were just looking for something traumatic, and they need Harrison Ford was just like, "Can you write me out, please? I don't want to do any more movies." He asked to be killed off a lot earlier in the script. But again, it's like there's so many different things in indie. There's an audience for everybody. You just have to find them. And that's the hardest part of indie is having people know you exist, because we don't have that Marvel sharing power. We don't have that DC push into every single store in the nation. People don't know that Path of the Pale Rider is a thing. I experienced, and this is crazy too, when I put out there the grim questions, I thought that was a lot of fun. Like, what would you do if, with undead bugs? And what would you do if undead children? And that's when I found out that there's people that are following Path that have no idea what Path is about.
Yeah.
People are like, I would put the kid down. And I was like, I thought you were reading, or I thought you were following what we're about, because if you have been, you know that there is no putting them down. You know what I mean? So that question, I had more people answer, put them out of their misery, than any of the other questions where I was just like, wow, people really don't know what we're doing yet, which is crazy. So, and again, got to do more advertising, got to do more marketing, got to get in front of more people. Because people don't understand what we're doing yet. And that's with everybody. That's all indie. People are like, what's CPS?
There's so many out there.
Yeah.
There's so many out there, and they're all little groups. I mean, ours is a little group, but I want ours to be a huge group. I want everybody to join this thing. I've always been that way. I mean, it hasn't, I don't care what your show's about. If it's about the stuff we love, bring it to the madness. That's all. I don't care if it's art stream, gaming stream, talk show setting, like what Laurie does. I don't care. If you're doing RPG, if you want your show to be part of our network, like right now, we are broadcasting to 9 different places. 9 different places. So I'm doing my best to make sure you guys get seen. I remember, I've heard for 5 years now, the exposure coin. Okay. The exposure coin. You're just dealing with trying to get exposure coins. I'm like, no, I did this for 5 years for free. There wasn't no coin involved. Okay, when it came down to sponsorship, yeah, we got some sponsors and they paid for the StreamYard for the year so that we can do this without having to worry about monthly payments. And that's what the sponsors came in for. Laurie knows exactly how much she has paid to help us keep this up. Everybody knows. Wayne's been a sponsor a couple times. Everybody knows how much they've helped over the last 5 years. And I'm not saying nobody has, but it's never been from Pop's pocket. It's always been to make sure this thing keeps going and keeps going strong without no interruptions. StreamYard almost got in our way when
when the renewal happened.
Holy crap, they messed our whole thing up. We lost like all our admin spots or something, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't give nobody show admin, and they had to give us a free trial because the engineers at StreamYard couldn't figure out what happened. So they had to give us like a 10-day free trial, and then we re-upped for the year thanks to new sponsors and to people like Laurie and Roland and part of the network that wanted to make sure that we reached the goal we needed to pay for the StreamYard for the year. Carissa came on as a sponsor. Chris. And we just picked up the new one right above me, right there. Unpopular
Comics. Cool.
That's our newest sponsor. That's the ad that you played, the futuristic one.
Yeah.
Or Steam Droids or whatever. Yeah. That's our newest sponsor. See, so I mean that guy's from overseas. So we're reaching people, obviously, and I'm not, I didn't approach him and go, hey man, you want to sponsor me? You know what I mean? It's like he came to me and I want to be a sponsor. Wayne came to me, I want to sponsor this month, or however it works. 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, a year. It doesn't matter. However we can serve you. If you just want to run your ad during your campaign, $25. Do it. We'll run that thing on almost every single show on the network. I can't say every single one because like some of the shows are pre-recorded, like the Baron Earl show. Okay. They do put all the logos on their thumbnail, but they pre-record the show so they don't have the ads to put in there, but we do our very best to make sure that you guys' stuff gets seen everywhere, as much as possible.
Pop's endeavor makes me think it's Weird Al's UHF. The Menace is a real life UHF of the 21st century, but in a serious way. It makes sense, right? It's about the underdog giving more niche audiences content that they want to see or didn't know that they wanted to see. It's 100% what we are.
Hugo, when you first tuned into the Slaughterville game, did you expect anything like that? I want to hear your honest opinion.
I mean, I don't think anybody expected Karen. I didn't expect Karen. It just, what's funny? There was a Friday that we had played, and I think it was the finale of us getting out of the asylum. And my pool guy came and told me that I had to reach in and find my inner Karen if I wanted to call and complain about something on the bill. And I was like, that's not too hard. I was just Karen an hour ago. And he was like, what? And I was like, never mind.
You should have told him. He might have started watching. You never know.
No, I needed to cut it short with that guy. Then he went off on a tangent, and I just got like the big deer in the headlights, like,
Dude.
Karen comes as a comic. Sometimes things come out as Karen that I don't even know. Sometimes I question, like, cattle prod to the butthole, the whole like amnesia and kicking the guy down the stairs because he wouldn't shut up, and like tactical cities. I mean, things come out of Karen that I don't know where they come from sometimes. I just gotta say. Sorry. I mean, it's entertaining though, right? He's over there dying. Please don't die. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Karen has said all of those things during the Slaughterville campaign.
Dude.
We have a list.
you completely. I mean, there was no way for
I know.
Chris didn't expect it. Nobody saw it coming, and now that I've actually read the storybook for that, if I had read that book first, that game would have been so much different.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like you took over and Chris had to play around your character, and that I don't think I've ever seen that before. That was just awesome, right?
Sorry, I just got really into character, like kicking you through the door and like you vomiting on my hair, slipping and falling into the vomit. Like, yeah, we couldn't have made that up if we tried.
It was great. It was great. It'd make a great short film. I know that.
My God. Oh,
It'd make a
I
great
think
short
Karen
film.
should be a character in a horror film just to be. Maybe I need to get a Karen wig and create a character for one of my shorts. I'm already writing the next short film, which will be an instructional video like welcome to your undead years, right? I mean, and then like they're gonna go through the rules of what to expect, and I'm gonna parade through a lot of the undead characters that we've seen already. So we'll see Ellie and we'll see Brad and some other undead characters kind of come through, and it'll be fun. I'm really looking forward for that. Yeah, yourself, anybody that's been undeaded, you know, in the series, you know, the guy with the fork in his back. We can parade them all through as we explain
That was
how to
another
feel by
thing,
the rules
Laurie.
of being
Look,
undead.
that's
It's
another
like
thing, Laurie.
it's like in Beetlejuice, how they get the handbook. It's like, what is that? The guide to the recently deceased. Yeah. It'll be like that. It's an instructional video. Well, you know, like in Fallout, where they're explaining the different specials in the beginning. They're like charisma, and then they have like the little stuff, and of course he ends up like as a bloody mass on the ground, stuff like that. So we're gonna have some fun with it. So it's bouncing around in my head, but it's not a complete thing yet. But
That's one of the things about your series, though. From the day I met you, I think about, okay, look, how many times did I send you that? I've sent you a message, dude, I got this great idea, but I don't have no way to act it out. No way, but here, use it.
And I'm like, right? Give it to me. And I'm like, I'll find someone to do it. And they do.
Because your series makes
I have crazy fans.
That I think about just weird random shit at weird random times. Oh man, maybe that's why. Or, you know, because at one time I sent you a message, you said, oh, you're thinking now. And I was like,
yeah,
but
you made me laugh too. You're like, if I eat a seed, will I poop out a tree? And I was like, no. I was like, but you are thinking.
Nobody else's comic has me wondering this much about all these different aspects of it. The geopolitical part of it, the terrorism part of it, the government control part of it. There's so many things that you take into consideration that would, you know, what does the FDA do? They're giving you moving meat now. Everything's okay. You know?
Nothing's safe to eat. But do we eat it anyway? I don't know, you know, and what never mind. I don't know. I can't say it.
There's
issue
so
number
many
5.
things,
oh God. When we start issue number 5, Pops, we move the story forward in so many ways. Like we're at 9 years into the apocalypse when we started. So we're basically right before we pick up issue number 1. Right. But you get to see, I'm going to give a couple spoilers. You'll get to see Prince, the first encounter with Prince. You're going to see Lola again. And what she has transformed herself into is not fun. And she blames Jude because of their previous interaction. The steps that she has taken, she blames off of their interaction. Messed up. And then you'll see what happens with the government. That's going to come to a head. Mm-hmm. You'll find out what Dwayne Fink knows. And then what happens with Jude with that information and the decisions that he makes to go forward. So there's so much stuff crammed into issue number 5. And then we burn everything down. So like, I can't wait to pick that one up. But it's just like, you know, like you said, there's things I have to put in place before we can keep going. So it's
just
like
never been. I've never read a comic series or had the concept of a comic series occupy so much of my freaking mind.
and I've
Until
done something
you
right.
did this, and I'm serious. You know, even the stuff that I was big time fandom of that I waited week to week or month to month to get, and back in the day when comic stories were good and you couldn't wait for the next one, right? None of them ever had me thinking. It was just, I can't wait to read the next one, right? And you wait till you got it in your hand, you read it, and then you wait until you got the next one. None of them had me wondering what the hell was going to happen all month while I was waiting. Okay,
and mine are unfortunately a little longer than a month.
Years already. You see what I'm saying? This one's had me wondering what's going to happen for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
Okay, and then not because I'm waiting for the next book, because I'm
thinking about long-term repercussions. Yeah.
Dude,
but it's like 5 is such a crazy episode. 6 is really interesting, and there is some action, but you're going to understand what Jude needs to do. And in 7 is 100% action. I think there's maybe there's minimal dialogue. The script is 4 pages, but it's all action. 7 is by far my favorite, and there's a huge reveal in it, like huge. And then 8 is kind of like the repercussions from that, and it's a really big deal. And this one in 8, if you're paying attention to the imagery that's in 8, it'll tie back to the things I've been showing you from the beginning. So again, I've been telling people, if you look hard enough, I've been showing you things from the beginning in imagery, if not in words.
Right.
So, and then of course, 9, 10, 11, 12, we wrap it up. Jude figures out the meaning in 10. So he figures it all in 10, and then 11 and 12 is like the repercussions and then where he decides to go. But I'm telling you, I just cannot wait to get to 7 and get that one out there, because you all are going to be floored by number 7. You won't see it coming, and then you will never be the same after number 7.
I've been floored by the concept from day one. That's what I'm trying to say. I've never had a story that the concept was that had me this enthralled in where, to where I'm trying to figure out where it's going. You guys know when you watch the mystery show on TV, it's an hour long, and you're trying to, most people got it figured out in the first 5 minutes, and then there's other people that don't know till the end or whatever.
Yeah.
That's like this, but for 2 fucking years now.
Sorry. I mean, if our Kickstarters did 12,000, we could go a lot quicker. And eventually, we'll get there. But right now, we're right where,
I have no
it's
doubt
for itself, and I am not complaining.
I have no doubt that you're going to get there. I'm just like you. I didn't think I figured with all the people that already had floppies, that trade paperback, you'll get those TPP fans, the ones that were waiting for and it just,
yes. And I did get those people.
And what you got, people that bought your floppies got the TPP
I got about
too.
50%, 50% of my backers were returning backers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing when the people that already have the content bought the content again.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's freaking cool.
Like I said in the beginning of the show, like the outcome of this campaign for the trade paperback far exceeded my expectations. Like I was not expecting that. I was like, maybe we'll break 3. My goal is 2, and again, the art's already paid for, so we're not looking to, we don't need all the funds, but it's like it'll just help us order more books,
and it'll help the next book.
And it was at 300%.
It was amazing. It was
just amazing. That they started picking up like the last 10 days, and then it just took off again. And I was like, wow. So really cool. You should make 10 to 20 stretch goals when you release. What's crazy? We unlocked every single stretch goal that I had, dollar amount. It was nuts. I couldn't believe it. Like I came up with all these stretch goals, and I was just like, that's probably enough. We won't get to 5,000. We got to 6. So I was like, I don't even have stretch goals set up for these.
It's all right. And
We're gonna have to get really creative, man. I wish we could do another poker card. That would be cool. I would love to do 3 poker cards an issue. We were close last for issue number 4. We had 140 backers. And I was like, if we had like 5 more, I would have pulled the trigger and been like, we're close enough. We unlocked a poker card. But 10, I was like, no, I can't quite do it. So 10 to 20
poker cards are
times
awesome.
the dollar amount.
For those of you who back, he's saying it's like, if the bookmarks cost $200, then stretch that stretch goal out to the point where you're making money on each stretch goal as well.
Oh, I do.
Okay.
And
yeah, they have to pay for themselves, but it doesn't hurt for you to make a little extra on those.
And they do. And I like to do the PDF one. I mean, like the PDF one doesn't cost me anything. So, and then of course, the slice and dice, I like to put, but you see, that's the thing is I want to make sure everybody can feel included with some of the stretch goals. So the PDF stretch goal and the slice and dice, everybody can participate no matter if they're a physical or digital backer. And so that's kind of the way I work in that pricing as well, is like I can order things and still make a little bit because those 2 stretch goals don't pay for anything. So I'm not trying to make a ton of money off. It's just I want everybody to be included. And the slice and dice is so much fun.
If you're a fan of this series, you don't begrudge her the opportunity to make the money to pay the artist ahead of time for the next one.
That's what I'm trying to do, because right now we're paying for an issue, and then we usually run out of money by the time we get through the print job. You know what I mean? And then we have to Kickstarter again, and everything comes to a halt. And that's just the cost of doing independent comics, unfortunately. So what I'd like to do is, when we start getting that little bit of a buff at the end, it's like, that's just going to pay for the next one. You know what I mean? Then instead of getting 4 pages and we get 8 pages in or 12. So then the turnaround time between our Kickstarters and between our print is less. So then instead of doing 2 books a year, you get 3 or 4. It just depends on how it all falls.
6, Corissa.
I know, unless you're Corissa and you can do that. That's amazing that she can. So again, issue goal is 2,500. If you get 10 to 20 that, then you can release 2 issues at a time. I thought about that as well. If we can, we will. 100% we can.
I would like to do Ashcan previews of the next issue, black and white.
That's interesting too. We might be able to do stuff like that, but I have another choose your own adventure book rolling around in my head, which would be really cool because I want it to come with a coin. So as you make decisions, there's going to be some pages you have to flip a coin and it's chance which way you go.
Let's see, the Ashcan idea, I was thinking as a stretch.
I know. I want the books to come out as fast as they can too, Hugo, because I'm telling you, once we get to 7, there's no turning back.
The reason I say this is that because sometimes you have some of the art for your next book already done, right?
Yeah.
So the pencils are already done. You don't have to worry about the colors or nothing. The Ashcan's like construction paper. Nobody gives a fuck what kind of paper it's on.
Well, I can print those like I do my own and just staple.
Okay, exactly. So you make that a stretch goal. If you get to like double your goal, right? Then you give everybody a little preview in print.
That's an interesting
of the
idea.
next issue. You see, and now you've got them. Oh shit! I got to get that.
What it's going to look like. I know. We were already talking about. I got to go through the script for 5 and kind of figure out how many pages I want to put where. But we're going to start.
That goes for all you guys. That goes for everybody. That goes for everybody.
Yeah.
Little preview will bring them. That's your returning fans right there.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't just give it to them. Like I said, make it a stretch goal, or at double. When you get to double goal, then give everybody a little look at what the next one's going to look like. Do it black and white. Do it cheap. Don't
Yeah.
They're going to see it. They're going to have it in their hands, and then they're going to want the book.
Before we go, I want to give a tease to the short film that I am editing right now. We're all wrapped. All the film is done. I'm planning on having it done by this week. I should have it done, or at least because again, it's going to have a viewing in London in May, Hades from ASAP Imagination is renting out a studio, and we'll be showing myself and some other creators that do short films. So this isn't the full thing. I just want to show you a scene. I kind of teased out pictures of when I covered my actors and their floor in Hershey syrup. And people are like, what the heck is going on here? And I was like, well, we're going to show it in black and white, and it'll be blood. And everybody was like, it looks like someone pooped themselves. And I'm like, once it's in black and white, you will see. So I want to show people what it looks like when you take Hershey syrup and put it all over, and you see what I mean? Like how it's going to look. It's going to look like blood. So here we go. I'm not going to show this whole clip.
That looks great.
Alex? No, no.
That's all I'm going to show.
He just realized he joined the ranks, huh?
He what?
He realized he joined the ranks of the undeaded.
Oh, he's been undead since the beginning. Like he dies in the first minute of the film. That's the guy that like flatlines and like he sits up. He's got like jelly beans stuck to his face.
Yeah,
I like that because we go from color when he's alive to black and white as soon as he's undead, and it kind of like tells their story as a family and some of the hardships they're going through because of his condition. But he starts losing time because he sundowns. And I remember with Lola when we play the game, she starts to go crazy at night, and so he does the same. He's losing time, and he doesn't remember doing stuff, and so it escalates until we get to this point. So something has happened. You don't know what. You have to watch to find out. So anyway,
thanks for giving me some of your time, Laurie.
What's that? Oh, absolutely.
Thanks for giving me some of your time. That's awesome.
Absolutely. It's 100% important to me. I will be contributing to the GoFundMe. Everybody watching, you should too. So that way, again, you're helping Pop set up the business side so he can turn around and bring us all up as well. You're all invited to come along and be a part of the Roku and part of this so that way we can succeed together. There is no losing out here. Any amount can help. That GoFundMe, you can donate $5. You can donate up to as much as your heart, tells you to donate. And Pops appreciates every amount.
And if you are considering being an investor and you throw money there, just let me know you were doing it as an investor, and I'll make sure you get the contracts when they're written up. If you don't want to wait, you want to get in. I told you the order I'm doing this. I'm doing this right. So, if somebody throws some kind of significant sum at me, I'd rather they considered it as an investor than just giving me money.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If you come at me with something significant, I'm going to want you to get something back for that.
You know what LA will give you? Chicken nuggets. She might give you some chicken nuggets. All right, y'all. That's the show today. We got more indie creators on next week. Dude, we're booked out. I think I got 2 spots open in May, and then I have 2 spots open in June. So if you're interested in being on the Tuesday Morning Brew, I got people. Well, see, I opened up the calendar for the full year. Because I know Corissa has certain dates that she wants to come on, and she schedules them early. So I opened up the whole year. So I have people booked in August and I have people booked in September. If you know when you're going to be launching later this year, you can get a spot on this show now to make sure that you have a spot for when you plan to go live in the future. So if you're interested, please let me know. I'll shoot you the Calendly link. We're filling up quick, so make sure you grab a spot. Because the only thing I'm not going to do is boot someone off for you. I love you, but everybody gets to book their own spot, and that's the spot they get unless they cancel, and I'll open up for cancellations. But
so there you have it right there, guys. That right there is why I got to keep doing this. She's got guests all freaking year. The network must go on.
We must continue. So,
I appreciate everybody. Love you guys. All the well wishes I got while I was laid up. Everything.
yeah,
You guys all
I'm glad
rock.
you're still with us, and we will make sure that you take care of yourself and you take time off for yourself as well. If you need something, there's plenty of us. Doc and I were talking and making sure the shows were set up what we knew. We'll make sure things are
I
set up.
messed up so bad. I forgot.
It's okay. It's okay. It happens. I mean, and he didn't say nothing either. If he would have put it in the madness, we would have got him set up.
He's not in that.
He's not in the Facebook group.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and I mean, Doc and I both should have. It shouldn't have got by us, and but we had it. We let him do a show last night. It was a great show. We had a good time. Me, him, and Doc were all out there together. So
Good. Okay.
check out Stephen B, guys. His work is pretty amazing. Oh, I think Dillard showed up too. Yeah, it was a pretty funny show. So.
Cool.
Didn't miss that. If you missed that last night, you might want to go check that out. Stephen B. Old Cat Draw Stream.
And remember, be excellent to each other and kiss your babies. And we will see you all here at the Tuesday Morning Brew next week. Bye.
One more thing. Condolences to Roland Mann.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Peace.
The future. The final frontier. It has never been so uncertain as now. AI, VR, haptic wear, nanotechnology, mass destruction with a remote click. Now we are finally seeing the true potential and dangers of an ever-connected and overly policed hyper-technological world. Have we finally become the architect of our own demise? Is there still hope? Welcome to the future. Welcome to Punk Droid.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.